Welcome all to my new video. Today we are going to start with NCERT syllabus of science textbook class 7 first chapter nutrients in plants. Working steps one by one. Firstly we will do explanations, keywords and last question answer. Introduction. We know that nutrients are necessary for our body. Humans can't make its own food, but plants can. There are many kinds of nutrients and are going to study about it. Uh, Paragraph 1.1 Mode of nutrients in plants. So here we have explained that the plants make the food from the surrounding elements, which are water, carbon dioxide and minerals. Uh, so these elements provide the organism energy to build the body, to grow, to repair the damaged parts of the body, and to also the energy to carry out life processes. Uh, the nutrition is a mode which is needed by the organism, and it is also utilized by the body. Animals are autotrophic mode of nutrients, as they make the food by their own and with just the light and other elements. Heterotrophic is the mode. Heterotrophic is the mode of nutrients which makes the food means which cannot make the food by its own, as we humans are also heterotrophic because we don't make the food with the help of only sun rays or any element, but plants do. So a plant is heterotrophic and autotrophic, and we humans, animals, all are heterotrophic. Explanation 1.1 Photosynthesis, food making process in plants. Leaves are the food factories of the plant. So mainly the leaves make the food, like leaf, the food is made in leaf. Leaf have tiny pores on the surface which are called stomata. Leaf have some tiny pores on the surface. Water and mineral are transported by stem from the soil. Water and minerals are in the soil here. This is uh, transferred by the stem to the whole plant. Green leaves also has a element called chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is an element which is present in green leaves. It's a pigment which gives the plant green pigment. It helps to capture energy from sunlight and pores inhale carbon dioxide from the air. So our atmosphere already has carbon dioxide. So plant take in the carbon dioxide by the pores. We saw here the stomata, which are pores in the on the surface of the leaf. It is not other thing, but it just inhales carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and the green pigment, which is known as chlorophyll, uh, which takes in the sunlight of sun in the leaf, which helps in that process. After the process of synthesis, the plants produce carbohydrate and oxygen. So oxygen, we know that oxygen is produced by plant. Carbohydrate are like sweet molecules. If we eat a fruit, why it is sweet? Because it has carbohydrate. Okay. Moving up to next point, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. As we saw in previous slide that the green pigment which is there in leaves takes in the sunlight. So why do it? So it is because the for the process of photosynthesis we obviously need sunlight. Without sunlight, sun rays, no synthesis gonna happen. So that's the reason sun is ultimate source. The main source is sun. Formula of photosynthesis: carbon dioxide, which comes from air, plus water. Obviously, if we have a plant in our house, in a pot, we would just water it every day. So it contains water and soil. So the stem pushes it up to the leaves. So plus water in presence of sunlight. Sunlight is in atmosphere, which is produced by sun. And chlorophyll is there in the leaves. It's a green pigment. Whichever plant has a green pigment, obviously it would have chlorophyll. That equals carbohydrates, which are sweet molecules, plus oxygen. Oxygen, we breathe it every day. We can't live without it. If you tasted a leaf with iodine, and you get to know that it consists starch, so you will also get to know that the plant has had performed photosynthesis. So you take a leaf, but leaf has plant cells like leaf cells and chlorophyll. So we have to first boil the leaf in water. That would just that would lose the then the leaf would lose the like cells. It would lose the power to uh, maintain the strength of leaf, and add ethanol to the water where you are boiling the leaf. It would remove all the chlorophyll from leaf. So we are doing this process for making the leaf very like loose, because if the leaf has plant cells or chlorophyll, it would not allow the iodine to pass through it. And then when this whole process is done, boiling it into ethanol and water, we have to add iodine on it. And if uh, it changes its color, then you get to know it is like the plant is doing the photosynthesis happening in plant, because the plant shows that it is having carbohydrates. Activity 1.1. Step 1. Take two potted plants of same kind. If we have like money plant or any other plant, take the same kind of plant. Two plants. We have to take two plants. Keep one in dark room and other in the sunlight for 72 hours. So we have to take one like there are two plants obvious. So we have to take one plant in a dark room, another we have to keep in sunlight as we keep it regularly. Keep it for 72 hours. 72 hours like 3 days. Perform iodine test on both the leaves. So after 72 hours from the both the plants, so after 72 hours we have to take one leaf from one plant, other leaf from other plant, and we have to take test it like the same I told in previous slide. Record your results. Now the plant which was kept in the dark, keep it in sunlight for 3 to 4 days. So like we had two plants previously. Firstly we had two plants. We kept one in we kept in one in dark room for 3 days. So the same plant which was kept in dark, we have to keep it in sunlight for next 3 to 4 days. Now perform the iodine test again on the same plant. So the one which was shifted from dark to sunlight, we have to take the leaf of that plant after 3 to 4 days, and we have to test iodine on it. Record the whole result. Now the previous result, now result, we have to record whole, and we have to compare. Conclusion: if the plant is kept in sunlight, it will always synthesis. If, like, it was 3 days earlier, it was not in sunlight, it was in dark, so it didn't have sunlight. But after keeping it again for 3 to 4 days in sunlight, it will synthesize again. It will not stop synthesizing, as the sunlight is ultimate source of living organisms. This we know previously. Point: the leaf, which as not seem to be green but also have chlorophyll, large amount of red, brown and other pigments, mask the green color. Photosynthesis takes place in these leaves also. So they have explained that if there are many leaves which are not seen to be that green, but they have chlorophyll, mainly the red one, the brown one, and more other pigment, but they have green pigment in it, and they have masked, means covered up other colors on it. So that's why the green color is not visible, but chlorophyll is there. Second point: algae is slimy, green patch on pond or stagnant water body, and it is green in color because it contains chlorophyll. So algae, we know algae. It's like mostly found in rainy season, on water bodies or everywhere. When it is everywhere water, we can see some green patches. So that's what algae is. It is really slimy, we can slip on it, but uh, it has a green color. So it also photosynthesis. It synthesizes the carbohydrates, oxygen, whatever it is. Explanation: synthesis plants food another than carbohydrates. We know that carbohydrate is produced by carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and oxygen. Means carbon dioxide from air and hydrogen plus oxygen is water, which comes from soil. Plants also synthesizes proteins and fats, but proteins are nitrogenous substance which contains nitrogen. So from where do nitrogen comes from? Okay, so other than carbohydrates, it also produces protein and fats. So this is the nitrogenous substance, but the soil doesn't has nitrogen, and if there is any nitrogen, it's in a gaseous state. It is in gaseous state, but plant can't take the gaseous state air, like gaseous state nitrogen. So the farmers, what they do, they just use the nitrogenous fertilizers, and it is mainly needed for pulses like fibrous roots, and this nitrogen, like pulses have proteins, so they use the fertilizers for this thing, and now plants can synthesize proteins and vitamins because we have nitrogen in it. Explanation: 1.3 Other modes of nutrition in plants. There is one more type of heterotrophic mode. One of the example is ambre or cuscuta. This plant is a parasite as it doesn't has chlorophyll. It takes chlorophyll from the plants on which it is climbing. So the climbing plant is called parasite, and on which it is climbing is called as host. So here the plant is without chlorophyll. It takes takes the chlorophyll from the plant on which it is climbing. So particularly this umbrel or cuscuta is a climber with with no chlorophyll. So there is one more type of heterotrophic mode called insectivorous plants. One example of this plant is pitcher plant. The pitcher plant is uh, pitcher shaped plant. This shape is given by leaf of the plant. When the insect enters the jug, the structure gets closed with the apex, and the inner structure has downwards hairs which pushes insect downwards, and at the bottom there are digestive juices that kills the insect completely, and that is how insectivorous plants gets food and nutrients to live and grow. So this is a pitcher plant. Like its leaf is shaped like a pitcher, and there is a lead to it. Then the plant sits on the jug-like shape. The leaf the leaf's lead is closed down, and there are downwards hairs in the jug-like thing, the pitcher in it. So the hairs push the insect downwards, and when it completely falls down, there are juices, digestive juices, which completely kills the insect, and the insect lastly stops moving, and like it's like a murder of an insect. And that's how the pitcher plant, it's an insectivorous plant, it gets it gets its nutrients to grow and live. 1.4 Saprotrophs. The organisms which grow with the help of taking nutrients from decaying and died substance are called saprotrophs. For example, mushroom. So, giving a situation, if if by chance I don't know, let me know if uh, whoever goes for trekking, hiking, trekking in rainy seasons, so that would tell me about the situation in like, did you saw any mushroom like in a trek, like whenever doing trekking we saw many trees, but there's some substance on it very like seemed so ugly and so like gross for us. That's what mushroom or fungi is. Some mushroom are really bad in shape, so that's what saprotroph is. They take the nutrients and whatever they need for the growth, they take it from decaying or died substance. This is activity related to saprotrophs. Activity 1.2. Step 1, there's only one step. We have to take a bread, soak it in water for 2 to 3 days. The conclusion would be that the bread would start like decaying, and some white net part will uh, be appearing on the surface of bread. This is nothing but the fungi. Because of the moisture which is which is soaked by bread, because of that the net, the fungi has appeared on the surface. So mainly whenever a part like a substance is there in moisture, only that time the fungi, the mushrooms, anything gross stands on it, and these things like fungi, mushrooms takes their nutrients or their needs from only decaying and dead things. Point 1. There is no one more ship between plants and saprotrophs, which is symbiosis. In this, plants and saprotrophs share food and shelter. Uh, like, see, if we saw a picture previously, there was a tree, and the tree trunk carried a mushroom on it. So it's nothing but symbiosis. Like the food the plant is giving food to this thing, mushroom, and shelter, as well as sharing a shelter between the branches of tree. So this is the ship between symbiosis. Point 2. An organism called leaf chain, a chlorophyll containing partner, which is an algae, a fungus live together. So here it's a leaf chain, it's a fungi, and it lives with chlorophyll, like chlorophyll containing partner, which is algae. We saw earlier that algae also contain chlorophyll, so that's why the carbohydrates are formed. So lichen is bigger than algae. So algae and lichen shares the shelter, and algae gives food to lichen as it is a decaying, or more moisture is present in algae. That's why. Explanation 1.5. How nutrients replenished in the soil. As we know, if we plant something in soil, it would take nutrients from soil, and soil would not have any nutrient left. So in that case, for healthy crops, farmers use manures and fertilizers. Okay, so in one part, if there is so much of field and we are planting one single thing in it, like not only one seed but many seeds of one kind, the soil would need many nutrients. So for that thing, it would be it should be not no lack of nutrients in the soil. So that's why the uh, what the farmers use fertilizers and manures to increase the nutritions in the soil. There is a bacterium called rhizobium that can convert gaseous nitrogen in uh, usable form. Majorly, this bacterium lives in the roots of plants, majorly pulses, and the bacterium and plant follows a ship of symbiosis, where bacterium helps to gain nitrogen. In return, plant gives it food and shelter. So earlier we got to know that farmers use this uh, like fertilizers, nitrogenous fertilizers for the protein and vitamins. But here the case is different. There is a fungi or bacteria named Rhizobium. It is a bacteria which converts the gaseous nitrogen into usable form, if as plant can use it, and in the same manner the plant helps the bacteria in case of food and shelter in soil. So here our video ends, this topic ends. So if you had any help seeing my video in your learnings, please like, share, subscribe, follow me, and it would increase my uh, devotion to make new videos like this. So thank you. Happy learning. Bye.